Welcome to the webinar. Please stand by. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. Webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to all of you. My name is John Kinnear. I'm Vice President of Marketing with INFINii, and it is my distinct pleasure to spend the next 30 minutes or so with you walking through some of the details of what I think is one of the most exciting offerings in global network marketing that I've ever seen. And I'd like to just take a moment and introduce myself. I had the opportunity also to present last week, but I didn't really do a very good job of a personal introduction. And some of you I have not had an opportunity to meet personally. In fact, some of you I have not had an opportunity to speak to yet. So I just wanted to let you know for a couple of seconds who I am before we dive into some of these details on what I think is an opportunity to have a very profound impact on your quality of life for the balance of this year and moving forward. If you see something that catches your eye here, I'm going to show you how you can take that and monetize it in some pretty remarkable ways this year. So I've been involved in network marketing for more than 20 years now. This is a photograph when I was building a business as a member of the field, very similar to your position with INFINii, and I was in Thailand at that point. I've helped companies launch in multiple countries, over multiple continents. I've built teams globally. Most of my focus has been in sort of the Asia Pacific region. When I was quite a young man, I was exposed to some friends on a local ski hill that were, and I had just gotten involved. I was in my mid-20s. I just got involved in a network marketing project, and shared it with them while I was riding the chairlift with them skiing. And that's, so many of the relationships that we look back on now as very profound and significant relationships in our lives start sometimes with innocuous, very harmless meetings such as that. And that relationship went on to, certainly earn me an awful lot. But more importantly than what it earned me was the opportunity that it presented me for now friends that are so close I would consider them family, all throughout not only the Australia country and continent, but all throughout the Asia Pacific region. And of course, I've had a great deal of success from my endeavors within network marketing. I would say that I worked hard when I needed to focus on really building my businesses when opportunities presented themselves. But what I see over the past 20 years that I was a full-time employee, absolutely not. The amount of freedom and quality of life that I've gained from my exposure and experience with the network marketing it probably would surprise many of you how few hours I've actually worked on my business. Like I said, you work hard when the opportunities present themselves and when it's necessary so that you can relax and enjoy yourself for an awful lot of time afterwards. And so I'm going to walk through what I think is the most exciting opportunity within an industry that creates more millionaires than any other industry that we're aware of today. And that's, of course, the home-based business or network marketing industry. I think, and is the most exciting opportunity within an industry and trends. You'll know that there is very much, I would call it a quiet revolution that's happening right now because it's a technological-based revolution. So in other words, as capacities of microchips continue to double every 7 years, and we're even seeing an increasing of that, we're starting to see more and more technologies become available to everyone, regardless of where you live in the world, and for prices that we maybe would never have thought possible only a decade ago. But more than that, we're also seeing trends in the way that people are starting to use their skill set. In other words, that's not always happening in an office environment anymore. And we're actually starting to see statistics that are saying that by the year 2020, very large significance of the workforce in developed countries are actually going to be working from hubs or working from home. And so this also creates significant opportunity. The bottom line here is that we live in a time of very significant change. And you can approach that change in two different ways. You can be open and optimistic and excited about the opportunity that it's going to bring, or you can be fearful and lock yourself down and try to protect yourself from it. But the reality is, if you are open to it, some of the opportunities that you're going to find being exposed to are really going to, they're going to be very exciting, to say the least. And I want to share a couple of examples really quickly. Founded in 2009, founded in 2008. These are a couple of those technologies that are less than a decade old. But the impact that they've had on the world that we're aware of is very, very significant, to say the least. Uber has taken on a global taxi monopoly that's been around for more than a century and has a market valuation of more than $50 billion, according to the Wall Street Journal. And Uber doesn't own a single car. That's just mind-blowing to me. Airbnb has taken on the likes of the Hilton hotel franchise, which is worth more than $19 billion, and it's been surpassed by this website that doesn't own a single apartment, doesn't own a building. Absolutely amazing. How are they doing these things? How are they generating companies with these kinds of values? Well, they're connecting the needs of the consumer with what they need, and they're doing it very effectively. And this is an opportunity that we're about to present to you in an area that dwarfs those two industries that we just talked about. What is that? Well, we'll get into that in just a second. But this technological change is also having a very significant impact on retail as we know it. And in fact, brands, here's 5 name brands that I know you're all familiar with. Well, according to CNN in 2015, this was the 4th quarter of 2015. So these are very recent statistics. These very, very large brands had some very depressing numbers. Now, there is, though, one sector of the global economy that's absolutely exploding, and you probably guessed what that is. That's e-commerce, or online retail. So we're starting to see this huge movement from physical location to online product availability. In fact, these Amazon, eBay, Google, and Facebook, these three companies combined have more than $300 billion in combined sales in 2014. But more than that, the growth that they're seeing is nothing short of amazing. Now, I want you to imagine, we talked about opportunities and being in the right place at the right time. I want you to imagine just for a moment, if these companies were willing to find customers for you, process payments for you, deliver products for you, and support those customers that they found for you. Because believe it or not, the circumstance exists that those companies are willing to do exactly that. And so we're going to show you how to exploit that, take advantage of it, and create what we think could be the most exciting income source that you've ever been able to participate so far in your life. While we're seeing this huge shift from offline to online, many brands that you're already familiar with, that are already trusted, are scrambling to keep up. They're scrambling to make that move from a physical location to an online presence so they can keep the customers that trusted their brands, that are familiar with their brands, and would be potentially loyal to those brands. Now, in my early years, my parents had a retail business, and it was in the photographic industry. And that retail business eventually had to close after about a 25-year run. So it's not a sad story. But what drove the closure of my parents' business was box stores like Costco and huge department stores and drugstores that essentially offered the same services and products that they offered, but because of course, their box stores, their buying power, my folks just couldn't compete. Well, what's happening now is those box stores that drove my parents' small retail business out of business, they are being driven out of business by this huge shift to online because the box stores can no longer compete with the .coms. Absolutely amazing how things come full circle. So e-commerce is now a $1 trillion global industry, and I want to share with you the top 10 nations around the world and their e-commerce numbers, because it's important to note that this absolutely is global. So while we're seeing global crisis, economic crisis is happening around the world, one of the things that we certainly are hoping and praying can trigger a positive step forward is the fact that the solution is also global. In fact, the research firm eMarketer's predicted that the global e-commerce movement will eclipse more than $3.5 trillion within the next 3 to 5 years. And so our platform is perfectly positioned. Not only is it perfectly positioned, but we're the first adopter. And as the first to do what we're doing, we're going to share with you some statistics that I think might shock you. But what the system allows you to do is without inventory or upfront costs or traffic generation or shipping, it allows you to operate within a proven model that's already generated more than $2.5 billion in sales within our first 2 years only. And those early adopters that have already taken our system, our training, and our tools, they're generating more than 6 times than other individuals doing the same activities or attempting to do the same activities on eBay. And they're generating more than 7.2 times more than other individuals doing the same thing on Amazon. So not only have we been able to prove this model out with remarkable success in a very short period of time, anyone that's using our training and our software platforms are absolutely dominating this particular arena that's growing daily. Now, one of the reasons, by the way, that this is growing daily, that $3.5 trillion number I wanted to share with you in 2015, so just last year, we were looking at about $1.6 trillion. So we're looking to see that double in a very short period of time. But more than that, that represented between 1.5% and 2% of all retail activity, that e-commerce number. So you can imagine now as more and more and more people hear the words Alibaba and Amazon and eBay and Bonanza, and they started becoming more open to the opportunity. I'm going to share something with you that I'm not embarrassed of, but I made my first Amazon purchase less than a week ago, my first purchase ever. And I'm guessing that everyone on this call has probably already made one. And so I'm I guess I'm not what you would call an early adopter. But the thing is, as I became exposed to more and more online activity, I guess I just became more and more open to it. As soon as something moves to this place where it's trending and becomes absolute water cooler conversation, the fear, I guess, starts to dissipate, and it just becomes sort of an assumed activity. I was looking for a particular item that I couldn't find locally, and so I just went online and I found it. Not only did I find it, I found it for a price that I was very, very happy with. It arrived at my house 3 days later, and Bob's your uncle. So first experience, positive, check. Now I want to share with you how our system operates and how it really exploits opportunities that are everywhere in this global e-commerce environment. AliExpress is obviously affiliated with Alibaba, which is the largest online retailer in the world. And you can see Amazon, everyone's familiar with the Amazon company. It has been an absolute rock in e-commerce growth over the past 10 years. And you can see a very similar product with exactly the same features, but a very large discrepancy in the price of the product, from $3.50 to $29. This creates an opportunity. And it's this discrepancy that a very big portion of our system is built upon. And in fact, what you can do within this model is you can scale this in any way you want to. But without getting too deep into it, I want you to understand that there are individuals, by simply investing half an hour, a couple hours a day in front of their computer, they go from creating a small additional income source to help offset household bills to where they're actually creating a life-changing income in a very simple and a very predictable way, just like going to work every day creates a predictable paycheck, because they're developing skills. And those skills, once they've developed them, they're no different than the skills that you use in your office environment, where you know if you implement them, you're going to earn. And you know if you implement these strategies, you're going to earn. So I want to make a comparison here to, as we move forward with INFINii, some of the humble origins that this e-commerce movement has, starting with Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, beginning this company that now is such a big part of so many lives from his garage. And likewise, there is some very big pieces that are about to be released for you within the INFINii world as well. And I'll walk through them very, very quickly. But needless to say, you can select to use and profit from all of these or some of these. It's entirely up. INFINii Marketplace, first of all, is going to be a wholesale marketplace. Now, this is very different than Amazon, which is a retail marketplace. That's where you go and you would buy something for yourself as a consumer and expect to pay retail price, perhaps a discounted retail price, but a retail price nevertheless. Within the INFINii Marketplace, however, if you want to access and purchase in this environment, you need to be a member, plain and simple. Now, the reason is such that we're taking not only manufacturers, but wholesalers loading entire databases of product at wholesale costs into this marketplace. So if you choose that e-commerce arbitrage is something that's going to be appealing to you, you have access to literally tens of thousands of different products that you then can take to eBay, to Amazon, to Bonanza, and to other marketplaces, and you can actually sell those for a very significant profit. Now, INFINii Stores is another opportunity for you to expose the wholesale products that are available in Marketplace to another location for you to profit from, and that would be your very own store. Now, let me give you a really quick example of how you could turn this into a really exciting, dominant income source for yourself. So my friend Troy just had a birthday, and Troy is an avid outdoorsman and a skydiver and does a lot of camping, and his mother bought him a number of different things for his birthday, and one of the things that she bought for him was a non-shatterproof. It was a non-shatterproof plastic halogen light. Now, it looked like the old tungsten light bulb, but it was waterproof, had a little hook carabiner on one end of it, and you would hang it at the top of your tent, and it would light the whole area up. Now, she paid $12.95 at the local outdoor store. Now, one of the first things that Troy did, because he's an INFINii member, is he went to some of the sources that he learned about within the INFINii training, and he quickly discovered that he could access that exact same product that he really appreciated for 85 cents each. So one of the things that Troy is thinking about doing right now is, as soon as the marketplace is available to him, he is thinking about creating his own online store with all sorts of products that would be appropriate for people who like to camp or like to hike or like to run, and then simply promote that store in a number of different ways. Now, one of the ways that he can promote that store is, of course, he can share the link to that store on Facebook. He can also use INFINii Network to learn how to brand that store and find traffic in the thousands and even tens of thousands of individuals, so that people not only become familiar with his own store, but begin to shop there on a regular basis. So we help him with that entire process, as far as monetizing, collecting payments, inventorying, the whole process. And of course, in the middle there, you can see INFINii vendors. And that's an opportunity. If Troy actually is aware of anyone who's in the manufacturing industry or the wholesale industry, where he could actually attach that series of products from a wholesaler to INFINii Marketplace, and he has the opportunity to profit on those transactions that are going to happen simply because he was the one that exposed that vendor to our INFINii market. And likewise, of course, you have exactly the same opportunity. Now, when it comes to the e-commerce arbitrage, and that is learning to take things that you find for less money, sell them for a higher profit using our automated software and all of the infrastructure that helps you do so, there's a whole series of training that's going to be available to you. That training is available on video. It's also available in PDF. It's available in multiple languages. And our memberships become accessible to you for as little as $50 a month, $49.95 for Prime. And that gets you everything you see here, including dedicated software like our Advanced Listing Creator, Bonanza Listing Creator, Eloquent Product Research. By the way, this little piece of software is truly amazing, because if you're like me and you're someone who hasn't done a lot of buying, shopping online, and you don't know what's trending right now, instead of trying to become an expert and spending time on YouTube or spending time searching what are the most popular items, you simply use this piece of software that will be provided for you, and we can help you identify best places for you to be spending your time and the best wholesale products for you to be attaching yourself to for maximum profit. Surge is our intermediate level. What this allows you to do is really amplify your e-commerce business. It gives you some advanced techniques. It gives you pay-per-click for Amazon, Facebook, for YouTube. There's a whole series of benefits. There's new software you're going to receive, analytics and insights. And there's also starting to understand how to monetize blogs with things like Shopify and WooCommerce, advanced analytics. It's really taking that business to the next level. And you're going to have an opportunity for $149.95 a month to use all of this software. Now, keep in mind, everything within the Surge offering includes everything you already just saw within Prime as well. And then finally, Excel is for those individuals that really taken their business to that global level, where they really are learning to brand themselves, to leverage other sellers within the global e-commerce environment. All sorts of strategic advantages, as far as cashback, creating your own Amazon brands, actually attaching yourself to manufacturers in various places in the world, and creating an identity that shoppers not only buy from, but want to continue to come back and buy from. So those individuals within our infrastructure that are generating $20, $40, $50, $60, $80,000 every month in profit, they're all using the features and benefits that come from the Excel platform. And keep in mind, of course, your Excel membership also includes everything you've seen from Prime and everything that you've seen from Surge. So with that, there is a bit of a crossroads that we reach within the INFINii presentation. And that crossroads is, first thing, you have an opportunity to select a platform that you feel would be most appropriate for you, most appropriate for your e-commerce desire, most appropriate for the types of incomes that you'd like to generate for yourself. I recently read a statistic, and I'm sure that all of you have heard something similar, that the shocking number of bankruptcies and filings that are happening in North America, and perhaps even really in the Western world, is at an alarming statistic. However, $400 a month of supplemental income could actually defer close to 80% of those filings. That's an amazing statistic. So if you're an individual that adding $400, $500, $600, $700 a month would be absolutely a dream come true for you, well, getting started with the Prime membership would be more than enough for you. It's going to give you the skills you need and the platform that you need to create that extra $400 or $500 a month quickly. If you were looking perhaps to add a significant income, $2,000, $3,000 more dollars a month to your quality of life, to create other opportunities for yourself, maybe some travel opportunities, then really amping your business up to surge would perhaps be the way to do so. And then Excel, of course, well, we've talked about that, how Excel really is pushing your business to that ultimate global. Now, after that, though, you also have an opportunity. And I mentioned water cooler conversation earlier to you. One of the things that's fascinating to me about e-commerce is that it's gone from obscurity to global acceptance in such a remarkably short period. And I think that, if we were having a conversation talking about technology and how the world is embracing technology, I don't think anyone on this call would argue with it. We probably wouldn't get any disagreement. So the fact of the matter is that we're using our technologies that we all are enjoying to access this world of e-commerce. And you're doing exactly the same thing in the business. So if you've decided not only is this e-commerce movement something that is going to provide an opportunity for you moving forward, and it certainly can if you want it to, but you would also like to bring some of your closest friends with you, then you're going to want to participate in the INFINii Rewards program as well. And let me share with you really quickly how this program works. First way that you're going to earn, and remember what we're talking about is memberships, monthly memberships, either Prime or at Surge or at Excel. So regardless of how one of your friends chose to get involved, when you introduce INFINii to them, you're going to generate a 25% earning on anyone that you personally expose to the program in any way they choose to get involved. If they chose to get involved in the Excel platform, for example, that's $399.95. That's going to create a $100 for you immediately, and that would be a jumpstart bonus. In addition to that, though, as you work your way through the ranks of this rewards plan, you also have access to up to a total of $1,000 in milestone bonuses. We call them milestone bonuses. Managers are first family of ranks. And so these are the first ranks that you're going to work through and can work through rather quickly if you choose to. And you see 50 plus 100 plus 350 plus $500 gives you $1,000. Now, one of the reasons that one would want to create a rewards plan income for yourself is you can use the income from the rewards plan to further build and grow your online e-commerce enterprise. So this is called a milestone bonus, this $1,000. And every single time that you help someone that you personally have enrolled earn their $1,000, well, you're entitled to a check. So you would be entitled to a $200 check match by enrolling me and helping me earn my $1,000 a milestone. And as I help others, you would be entitled to a 10% or $100 check match as I help others do exactly the same. So that's a 2-generation check match. Now, the real heavy hitter in this rewards plan that so many people are already excited about is something we call INFINII Pay. And INFINII Pay is really an opportunity for you to drop individuals within your business and simultaneously help other individuals not only hit those milestone bonuses, but increase their INFINII Pay earnings. Now, that's available to you at manager rank and above. And manager's rank, you're going to hit very, very early within this rewards plan. And what you're going to have the opportunity to do is earn 10% on all growth, regardless of where that growth comes within your business. So as you can see, INFINII Pay can get very large very quickly. And then fourth is something that piggybacks right on top of that concept. And that is, again, anyone that you've personally enrolled, personally shared the program with, you have an opportunity to earn up to a 100% match of their INFINII Pay paycheck. So in addition to your own INFINII Pay paycheck, you can earn up to a 100% match of their paycheck as well. So as you can imagine, INFINII Match will also become a substantial part of your income source moving forward. So the benefits of this rewards plan, I want to walk through these very quickly, and then I want to use one example to sort of bring this whole thing to life. So what we wanted to do was combine the advantages of some of the industry's best plans. And one of the best strategies in building an effective business is really focusing on team building. So it's not just about you reaching your goals, not just about you putting some extra money in your pocket, but those around you, those that matter that you're working with, they also reaching their goals and putting in their genes as well. The idea of being able to place volume anywhere you want and help individuals hit those ranks and hit those milestones is a very important part of any plan. And I've never seen a plan be able to do that better than what I'm about to show you. A holding tank is a concept where, very simply, anyone that you personally roll into your business as essentially is within that holding tank, and you can place them anywhere you want to for up to 30 days. And so it really gives you some flexibility as to how the strategies that you use in moving forward and building the business. You have no restriction on business volume depth, which is why we're using the word infinity. You have no restriction on unlimited width and unlimited depth as far as your building strategy is concerned. And of course, we already talked about the jumpstart bonus. By the way, you also have the ability to rank advance. Believe it or not, you can rank advance in this program daily. So ranks are no longer going to hold you back or punish you in any way, shape, or form. Now, what I want to share with you is a concept that I've actually never seen implemented before. And that's this idea where I can drop friends underneath other friends and they get full value of what I'm doing for them. So as you can see, we've got rank requirements. We've got the manager family ranks, and then the director family ranks, and then the ambassador family ranks. And you get some very significant earnings. In fact, the column on the far right-hand side starts to give you an idea of how quickly these ranks per line of lineage can pay you. So for example, what you see here, you see 3 different individuals, front side to this person who's brought them into his business, and he can earn up to $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month, so on and so forth, as he continues to move through these ranks. So let's walk through a bit of an example, but before we do, I want to share a couple other options in getting enrolled within the system. We've already talked about Prime Surge and Excel memory. There you see the $49.95, $149.95, and $3.95. Well, we've also bundled those for you, just like you could bundle cell phone services, and just like you could bundle Netflix and other services that you may be ordering on a regular basis. In this particular case, Prime 6 represents all of the software and all of the benefits, all of the education from the Prime package we talked about. But when you pay for 5 months, we're actually going to give you 1 month of Prime free. And so as a result, the price is not $50 times 6, it's 50 times 5. $249 is that Prime package. Now, if you do Prime 12, of course, what you're doing is you're paying for 10 months and you're getting 2 months. And exactly the same opportunity presents itself for Surge 6 and for Surge 12. Okay, so what I'd like to share with you, now for those of you who are looking at this presentation for the very first time and are not currently members of INFINii, just bear with me. This is actually walking through a scenario of the binary rewards plan that we used for our first 5 months as a company until we made some modifications to our rewards plan. So those of you who are members and we're familiar with the binary, I want to share just a little bit of what's making this new structure so dynamic and so attractive to so many individuals. First of all, in a binary rewards plan, if I was your upline, you represent the blue circle, I represent the yellow circle, I was a very good upline because I dropped individuals down within your business. Now, obviously, as I was building down within your business, this quickly became what we call the strong side of your business. You can see all the yellow circles that I'm directly responsible for and indirectly responsible. So the strong side of your business is not the pay side of your business. But what it does is it allows you to shift your focus to the pay side because I'm helping you with the strong. And this word yellow circles we're calling scope. Okay. Now, the only disappointment, of course, is that even though I'm putting people within your business, it's not actually directly affecting your paycheck. You're not getting paid on that spillover because it's the lesser side of your business with 7,000 business volume that you're actually getting paid on. Okay. Let me show you how spillover affects you in this new rewards plan. Okay. Here's the same yellow circles. That's the same spillover from me, but now this volume, you can actually earn 10% of this volume. So you're going to earn INFINii pay, which is the 10%. You can earn milestone bonuses, the $1,000 in milestone bonuses, and this BV can actually trigger rank advances for you, which of course create an opportunity to earn more and more for every line of lineage within your INFINii pay. So this is a very, very different circumstance than a normal binary rewards plan where we essentially profess to be building in teams, but I'm not directly affecting your paycheck. In here, I absolutely am putting more money into your pocket. Very important to understand. So let's go through an example very fast, okay? The first step, of course, we want to become managers. Why? Because managers when INFINii Pay is triggered. Now, a manager begins at 400 BV. So it's very easy to accumulate 400 BV. Remember we mentioned Prime 6? That was 200 BV. I signed 2 people up at Prime 6, bang, I'm a manager, okay? In this particular case, I chose to sign 3 people up. That totaled 400 BV or more, and I've become a manager. Now, my first objective is, of course, collect my paycheck, and then my objective is to help those 3 individuals become manager themselves so I can drive them positive cash, and in the process, by default, I will automatically become a regional manager, and that's 1,200 BV. So in other words, help 3 people hit 400, I automatically hit 1,200, very simple. Okay? So as you see, first of all, first things happen, of course, I've generated another paycheck for myself, but I've also released my second milestone bonus. When I hit manager, I released my first milestone bonus. And as a regional manager, I've also hit level 1 milestone match. What does that mean? Well, those first 3 people that become managers, what happened? They just received their $50 milestone bonus. If I just got a 20% match, I received $10, $10, $10, which equals 20% of $50. Very simple. Now, my third step, though, is to help them become regional, and by default, I will become national. Okay? Again, you're starting to get a very clear idea. Remember we said we were talking about the benefits of the attributes of any good plan. Focus on team building. Focus on helping people reach their goals, and you will, by default, start reaching your goals. That's exactly what's happening. So you can see now I've got an estimated earnings close to $1,000. I've just released my third milestone bonus of $350, but now I'm also earning on milestone matches level 1 and 2, 10% match and the 20% match. And my fourth step, of course, is by helping them become national manager, I'm becoming global manager. I'm starting to see a more sizable paycheck. I'm over $2,000. I've also released my last milestone bonus, $500. I'm getting milestone matches 1 and 2. And now I'm into that fourth way that you earn, where I'm actually earning an INFINii match off the people that I've personally sponsored in my. Okay, so I've unlocked all of these bonuses by the time I get to global manager. Now, if you look at this whole slide, you notice there's a yellow circle and all the rest are blue. That's deliberate, and that yellow circle is representing regional manager. We want to focus on helping as many people, we meaning you, help as many people reach the rank of regional manager as possible. It's a very significant benchmark within the plan, and we're going to have very significant bonuses for individuals that reach regional manager, and also very specific memberships and trainings moving forward as well. So that's destination regional manager. Now, as we continue to move forward, though, I help 3 people become global, and I become direct. You can start to see more significant pay is increasing, but you can also see now my INFINii check match is actually 30% on every single person I personally enrolled. Very significant. Same thing, help 3 people become directors, help 3 people become senior, help 3 people become executive, and you start to see these ranks like ambassador, where now you have a very clear path to this type of success. Whereas maybe it seemed a little ambiguous before for you, or perhaps it just seemed like just too big a task for you to personally attack and succeed. Absolutely not. It's really just repeating the same simple activities that created that first $50 for you. Repeat those activities, and that will eventually drive you all the way to these ranks like director, executive, ambassador, and beyond. And have a look at your earnings, over $50,000 plus. Now you're up to 60%. Every person you've personally enrolled as an INFINii check starts getting very, very substantial. So this clear path to success. First of all, you have the opportunity on every single unique line of lineage, and you can have as many of these lines of lineage as you want. Earn up to well over $120,000. Plus, you also have an opportunity to match every personally enrolled individual up to 100% with your INFINii match. So you can start to see from some of the numbers that are displayed below them, at director, 30% is a very significant match. But look what happens when you move to ambassador and you generate 60% from the same numbers. Very, very significant. So I will tell you that this rewards plan was literally designed to give no ceiling for your ability to. If you have these ridiculously lofty aspirations where you'd like to earn $100,000, $500,000, $1 million a month, and I know some people have those types of aspirations, you will not be held back by this structure. The strategy absolutely can facilitate that. Now, we talked about the holding tank earlier. I want to show you this holding tank in action because this is really where some magic can start to happen. Anyone I personally enroll automatically is in the holding tank until I move them out of there. And I have 30 days to decide to do so. So not only are my individual, personally sponsored leaders in there, but as they start to build, when I'm moving an individual, I may be moving more than just an individual. I may be moving an entire team so that I'm helping my friend in the purple dress in the process hit their rank advance, hit their milestone bonuses, and so on. So the nice thing about this is anytime you place someone new from your holding tank under an existing member of your team, that business volume is shared. It's shared with the entire lineage all the way up to and including. So let's talk about some very easy to set and then ultimately easier to reach goals, especially using regional manager as that anchor point we talked about. So if I want to hit regional, remember we talked about the $400 really helping to manage so many of these bankruptcies that we're starting to see happen all over the Western countries. Well, regional manager is easily capable of handling that. That's 1,200 BV I need to hit and maintain the regional manager. If I have loftier aspirations, maybe perhaps $2,000 a month or more, I may want to set my sights on global management. What do I do to get there? Very simple. Work with 8 people and I help them become regional. Now, the best part is they could be any 8 people in your team, whether you put them there or someone else does. They could have been dropped in there from above. It doesn't matter. They are keen to move. You work with them. You help them become regional. Bang, you've just created a $2,000 a month income source. Senior director, if you want to hit something a little bit loftier, you want to help 6 people become global, now you're looking really at a life-changing. And then if you want to play with really, really significant ranks of $50,000 per month and above, again, you're helping people like senior director. And that's really paving that road for you to start creating income sources that, perhaps at one point you thought were just not. Well, I can assure you they are possible. And members are hitting these ranks. And if you set your sights on doing so within this rewards plan, I'm quite confident in your ability. So where do you go from here? Well, the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you get back to the person that asked you to listen to this presentation. And if there is anything that caught your eye at all, make sure you let them know what that is. If it was one of the features that you saw in Surge or Prime, make sure you let them know what. If you decide that there's something here that you really want to move forward with, and I certainly hope for your benefit that there is, because there are some exciting things on the horizon with INFINii. Make sure you select the platform, Prime, Surge, or Excel, which one fits your needs at this time the best. And then what I would strongly encourage you to do is really make sure that you actually hit that regional manager in your first 30 days. And within your first 60 days, really try to set a goal to earn all of your milestone bonus. Put that $1,000 in your pocket, and that really starts to put you on a track where the sky's the limit as far as the performance of your business is concerned. So with that, I would really like to thank you for your time and thank you for your attention. For those of you who are already members, welcome. We're very happy to have you on board. I'm excited to meet you in person. For those of you who are looking at this information for the first time, do yourself a favor and really do some due diligence on it. The statistics, I'll tell you, are extraordinarily impressive, and we're only just getting started. This e-commerce movement is going absolutely nowhere but up. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to speaking with you again.